So it's Lindsay and who else?
Carol.
Lindsay and Carol. Hey, how are you?
Who are you?
I'm Herb.
Hi, Herb.
Yeah,
Hi.
yeah.
Where are you from?
I live up on Cold Hill, and I'm going around town shooting pictures of the animals of...
Really?
Yeah,
Pretty much. Cool.
yeah.
He's coming too. That would be Dylan.
Yes, that's Dylan.
Come on, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
Come on, hop in here.
Hey, Dylan, how are you?
There he is.
There you
Wow.
go.
Well, we
We're
saw
all doing the same thing.
we saw a few of the other horses.
Yeah, we're working our way there.
Where are they from?
Street.
Why don't you move those critters so I can see some...
Where do you want it to be?
Well, just come this way.
Background.
Come. Well,
This is good.
yeah, this is very good.
But.
Bye-bye, Dylan.
You want to speak closer?
No, I can zoom this thing. In fact, there you guys are going to be real close. What are the horses' names?
Spice.
It,
And Ricky.
Spice, and this one is Ricky. All right. Fantastic. Lindsay, Carol, Spice, and Ricky. Thank you. We are filming. And it's Terry and Elle. I'm with Terry and Elle, and they've got dogs and goats and chickens and guinea hens. And those are the guinea hens right there. These are African birds. Is that right?
What's that?
The guinea hens are African birds.
Yeah.
Yes. And tell me more about the guinea hens.
The guinea hens are from Africa, and they're actually a predator alarm bird, meaning that when predators come by, they start making a lot of noise. And they also hunt ticks. So people down in Lyme, Connecticut, when the Lyme disease started being diagnosed, people really started to collect and breed guinea hens. And so because of the dogs and the goats, we just added a couple of guinea hens to the collection to try to help with that.
All right. And what kind of goats are these?
The goats are alpines. We got them when they were a week old. We got them Easter weekend. And so we bottle fed them for 4 months. And then their purpose in life is to eat the briars in the back, the rose and the raspberry and the bittersweet. And when it's not winter, or when it's not summer or spring, we have to give them the hay. So
Now, they've got ears that are upright.
right, that's one of the things that marks them as an alpine is their upright ears. And they'll get about 2 or 3 inches taller and probably a good 30 or 40 pounds heavier.
Wow.
And they're very sweet. Goats are social animals.
And tell me about their teeth.
Well, let's see if we can show you their teeth.
All right.
Dolly Madison, can you show us your teeth?
Dolly
So this is
Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Yeah.
Come here, Missy.
And the other goats' names are
Amelia Earhart
Amelia Earhart.
is the speckled one here.
Yeah.
And all the way at the back is Eleanor Roosevelt.
Eleanor Roosevelt, Amelia Earhart, and Dolly
Dolly
Madison. All right.
Nope, they're not going to let me show you. But they only have bottom teeth
Right.
in the front. In the very back, they have top and bottom teeth. But they taste through nibbling with their lips, and they're very social animals. So you don't get one goat, and it's best not to even have a pair. 3 is a good number because they're social. They act a lot like dogs do.
So you guys have a menagerie here.
We do. When we
There's some good-looking porkers, and they're friendly. They probably just want to get fed. I'm not sure of the breed. It's not that I'm not sure, I have no idea what the breed is. Hello there. These are right with mini donkeys and pygmy goats, but I didn't see them, so I forgot to ask what breed they were. Here we have some pygmy goats and mini donkeys. Right here in Granby. They're all pets. They're sort of curious, the goats. The donkeys aren't. I don't know what that means. Those are pygmy donkeys, rather mini donkeys, and pygmy goats. George was nice enough to let me drive out on his farm road and take a picture of some of these horses that he boards on his place. Some of them are ridden every day. One isn't ridden at all. Looking horses in Granby. This is Velvet, and she's just been working out with her owner, and your name, your first name? With Sue. Velvet is now eating a little hay. And what kind of showing do you do with Velvet, or what kind of riding?
Neither. I drive.
Drive. Drive a carriage?
A little cart.
A little cart. And so she is the transportation, or she's the motor.
Yes, she is.
Velvet. Psst. Yo.
She's going to completely ignore you as long as there's anything to eat.
I see.
If you want her to look at you, I can turn around.
Yes. Yes.
Velvet, turn around.
Hey, Velvet. Hello. Hello there. Hi. Hi there. Don't eat the camera, Velvet. Okay. And my red light is on. I'm filming. Morning, Morven.
Good morning, Herb.
Who is this we're looking at?
This is Houdini.
Houdini.
He's a 23-year-old Dutch warmblood,
Yeah.
and he's the kind of horse that most of the big Olympic riders use these days, because he's very big, but he can jump real good, and he can do the fancy dressage stuff.
Uh-huh.
But there are three kinds of horses. He's a warmblood. Those two back over there that we'll meet in a little bit, those are thoroughbred racing horses. Those are hot bloods. And back in the pasture, we have an Indian pony, a Northern Plains Indian pony, who's a kind of a cold blood. His name is Freddie. But Houdini will probably live to be in his 30s. So it's one of the breeds that are long-lived, and typically with horses, the bigger they are, the longer they live. Kind of like elephants. He weighs in about 1,800 pounds, and he's 17.2 hands.
Does it depend whose hands we're talking about? What is a hand? What does that measure?
A hand is a measurement that's originally was like that, but it's like 5 inches.
Uh-huh.
But he's really good. I can put children up on him, and he'll lift his feet up for you all around, and he'll let you do about anything you want to with him. He'll even stay out here forever on the lawn if we let him.
Uh-huh.
Because there's more grass here. You want to go meet the other ones?
Yeah, and as we walk over there, why don't you tell me, what is this business with thoroughbreds? What does that mean?
Well, thoroughbred is a racehorse, and the gene pool for thoroughbreds is a closed gene pool. Come on. They can all be traced back to 3 sires, and they were all Spanish. One was a barb, one was an Arab, so 2 were Arabs and 1 was a barb.
What does that mean, a barb?
Well, it was a certain kind of Arabian horse. The only other kind of hot bloods besides thoroughbreds are Arabs. And these are bred, they have to be registered, they have to be witnessed. This is Maddie. She's the newest member here.
Hello, Maddie.
She was trained for the track. She's a 4-year-old thoroughbred mare,
Yeah.
and she was bought from Mount Holyoke College.
Oh.
And this other thoroughbred coming up here, who
Yeah.
is about 12 years old,
Uh-huh.
his name is Finnegan.
Finnegan.
He's been,
Not Finnegan's Wake.
no, just Finnegan. And Finnegan is also a thoroughbred,
Uh-huh.
but he's very interested in Maddie.
Uh-huh.
They do this a lot during the daytime. But you have to feed them, these 2 horses, you have to feed them about 4 times the amount that I feed my horse, because they will just walk it off and run it off. And since she's been here just a little bit, we don't want to really let her out, or her owner, Caroline Daly, doesn't want to really let her out right away with the others, because they all get crazy and run around trying to make friends. She's escaped a couple of times, and we found her back in the woods there. You see down at the end, that's Freddie. You pan all the way down towards the trees. You see him?
I do. Let's see if I can get him on. Yep, I see Freddie down there.
Freddie came from Mount Holyoke College, and he's in semi-retirement. He is a very unique horse in that he's descended from a herd that was bred by Sitting Bull, the great Lakota Sioux chief. And when he came back from Canada in exile, he brought a herd of a couple hundred with him, and used to call them the Northern Plains Indian Pony or the Cayuse. But over hundreds of years, they were bred by the Indians from Mustangs crossed with Cold Bloods. And Freddie is a blue roan. That is, in the summertime, he turns about the color of your blue jeans. Maddie's very curious.
All right. You're pretty curious about that camera, aren't you? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
You are very curious. You are very pretty too. In fact, the only eyewitness account of Custer's last stand was a painting by a Lakota Sioux who was there. And you see the soldiers at the top of a hill and what looks to be like Custer. And this Indian is on top of him riding a blue horse.
Curious.
Yes. Hello. Hello there. Hi. Hello. How are all of you? Hi. Well, we're here today with Pam and a whole herd of alpacas. What do you call a group of alpacas?
A herd of alpacas.
A herd of alpacas. We have a
And they're
herd
so
of
curious.
alpacas. And they are curious and all different colors, and they are
Looking at the
just,
camera.
yeah. Hello there. You are a camera hog, aren't you?
This is Starry Night. She is.
Starry Night. Well, tell us about alpacas, Pam.
Alpacas come from the mountains of Peru,
Yeah?
and they are bred for their fiber.
Mm-hmm.
They are inquisitive, but not necessarily friendly creatures.
Mm-hmm. Do they bite?
They do not bite. They only have one set of teeth. And,
Like a goat?
Kind of, yeah, with a hard palate. They
Yeah.
chew their cud like a cow.
Yeah?
Have multiple stomachs, so
Mhm.
they eat mostly hay, and then they chew their cud for their nutrition.
Well, you can't eat the camera. Can we pet them?
You can pet some of them. Starry's pretty friendly.
Yeah.
She'll usually let you pet her.
Yeah?
This little guy in here is Agenor, and he might let you. He might let you get up and pet him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is Donovan coming up to say hello,
Hi, Donovan.
and this is Donovan's sister,
Well, hello
Starry
there.
Night,
Starry Night.
and that is their mother right there,
Wow.
Zeta. I have to try and think a minute. I can actually name them all, but it's
Mm-hmm.
getting harder and harder every day.
Yeah. So this is a commercial operation, Pam?
Yes, it is. We're a breeding farm, so we breed champion livestock,
Yeah?
and we show them and sell for seed stock, and then we also We also shear them once a year, and we sell their product either direct through fiber festivals, or we sell finished product in our store.
I see. Now, I suspect that people would say to you, that's a neat bunch of llamas you have.
They frequently confuse alpacas and llamas.
Yeah, so help us on that. Hello there.
Well, we
Hi.
actually have a llama in the
Hi.
back.
Well,
And when you see them side by side, it's easy to see the difference because the alpacas are about half the size and they have a much finer fiber, typically.
uh-huh.
Someone could argue that point because many of my moms that have given birth multiple times, their fiber is not as fine as some of the baby's fiber is.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, yes, I know, you're just so friendly. On the other side of the pasture with my boys is a llama, and you can easily see the difference. He's about 350 pounds. The average alpaca is about 165,
Oh,
180
my.
pounds.
So very, very,
Very different. And
Yep.
their fiber's very different. Their fiber tends to be flat,
Yeah.
whereas if we could, Agenor has just a beautiful fiber.
Uh-huh.
And if you open his blanket, you can see how crimpy it is.
Just a minute here. Let me see if there.
Can you get a shot of that?
Yeah.
That's a nice crimpy fiber. An alpaca fiber is very flat. I mean, a llama fiber, rather,
llama.
is very flat typically and coarser.
Uh-huh.
So the alpacas tend to have more value because their fiber is finer. It's used for a different kind of garment. So a truly quality fine alpaca is going to be used for a high-end men's suit, whereas a llama might be used for socks or rugs.
Oh, all right.
And llama farmers might argue with me a little bit on that, but typically those are the big differences. Their fiber's very different.
For any of you watching, this herd of alpacas couldn't be much friendlier, and they're all coming around the camera and nosing in, and just a neat bunch of animals, Pam.
Well, we have alpacas here that are everything from pets, and we have several people who have purchased alpacas from us as pets,
Uh-huh.
to high-end breeding stock if someone wanted to get into the breeding business with alpacas.
And the group that's over at that trough, what are the...
Well, these are all moms and babies, or females, young females that haven't been bred yet. We have a bunch of, all the little brown ones that you see
Yeah?
are from this fall, and they are predominantly boys. We only have one little brown girl here, I think. And Agenor here, and Donovan, wherever he went, and one other little white alpaca that's around here somewhere, are all from our spring births.
Uh-huh. And what kind of vocalization do these guys make?
You know, they are really very quiet typically. They hum when they're either happy or distressed. So you have to be real conscious of watching what their circumstance is. And they also they have a very shrill, kind of like a horse whinny, alarm call.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something concerning them or they see something in the woods that they think is a problem,
Yeah.
they shriek with this very high-pitched, it sounds just like a high-pitched horse whinny. And that's their, she's not quite as easy to break, but there we go.
Now, how would this feel different than a sheep?
Well, the biggest difference between alpacas and sheep is that sheep has lanolin in their fiber. Alpaca doesn't. Alpaca's actually hair. So what happens is if you're allergic to sheep's wool or you have problems with sheep's wool, alpaca tends to be hypoallergenic. It has no itch factor, where typically a wool can create an itch to it. Alpacas don't typically have itch to their fiber.
Neat.
So if there's someone, it's warm like wool,
Yeah.
it wicks like wool,
Yeah.
but it's hypoallergenic and has no itch. Hello, sweetheart. You're being exceptionally friendly today. You're being very friendly, too. Yes.
Pam, this is terrific. Thank you so much for letting us come by.
Well, I really appreciate you coming up.
Yeah. Oh, hello there. Who is this right now?
This is... That's a good question. I call her Sweet Pea,
Sweet Pea.
but I believe her name is Caramia.
Caramia mine.
Yes, Sophie named these girls last year, and the names didn't make sense to me.
Ah.
So I had my own, and that's Sweet Pea. And there's another little girl over here. There's one that's Mocha Latte, and the other is Caramia, and I believe this is Caramia.
Are the males more aggressive than the females?
No, we separate our boys from our girls only because we have breeding boys, so we want to be selective in who ends up with who.
I see.
And we'll be breeding again in the spring. I don't like having fall babies, and we had mostly fall babies this year, so I held my girls over until the spring. We won't be breeding anyone until the spring comes.
Well, fantastic. Pam, so the end product from all of these critters of yours winds up in your store, is that right?
That's correct.
Fantastic. So folks can get in touch with you and inquire about these products.
Absolutely. Just give me a call, 413-530-0915, so I don't stand you up.
Okay. Thanks very much, Pam.
Thank you.
I wonder if they'd like it better if I put a little cinnamon and allspice